Let's talk about it. YB. Can we just talk about it? DE. Let's talk about it. In the Southeast. Get it. Can we just talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Can we just please talk about it? Let's talk about it.
What's going on, family? How are you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It. So last week I did an episode and unfortunately my mic was not working. So you probably saw the episode, but you couldn't hear me say anything. But I'm back. The mic is working, as you can hear, loud as ever, ready to get active into this conversation. That was supposed to be last week, but we're going to do it this week. Building versus the body. What is church and are we doing it correctly? Right? Building versus the body. Look, some people faithfully attend church every Sunday, but never become the church. What we've done is, what if we have turned church into a building when God has called us to be a body? So we're going to look into some scripture and then we're going to dive into it. All right. And the scripture is coming from Acts 2:42, chapter 2, verses 42 through 47. And it reads as this: and they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayer. And all came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together and had all things together in common. Remember that part. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their numbers day by day those who were being saved. All right, let's get into it. So, the first part of the scripture says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. So when you read Acts chapter 2, the early church looked very different from what we see today. It wasn't about lights. It wasn't about popularity. It wasn't about stages. It wasn't about cliques. And it wasn't about performances. None of these things mattered. The early church wasn't built around entertainment. And I just had a conversation with my grandmother about this today, because I don't have a problem with a pastor being theatrical. I don't prefer it personally. I prefer more of just a Bible-based teacher when it comes to my pastor. But I understand that some people are still spiritually immature and they need to be fed milk. And we have some pastors out there that are available to allow them to drink off the milk, right, before they get to maturity and meat. So I think it's a space for it, but I think we have made it the pivotal part of why we go to church. And I don't think that's what church is meant for. Right? The early church wasn't built around entertainment. It was built around devotion. Right? It was built around teaching. You want to make sure that the pastor of your church is biblically sound. It was built around fellowship, meaning you should know somebody within the church that you go to on a personal level where you're talking outside of Sunday service. Small groups. Is your small group hidden? Are you a part of it? Right? Prayer groups, like morning prayer calls, afternoon prayer calls. Are you praying with the people at your church the same way if you were at work and you were working with people? Can you go and call that person and be like, hey, I need to pray. Something's going on. Wherever you are. It's about community. I can't say this enough. It's community. Coming together. Being each other's shield, being each other's support, being each other's help. Generosity, man. They shared everything together. Nobody was without, which is hard in today's world. But that's kingdom. Serving each other. This is what people in the early days were devoted to in church. It had less to do with the lights and the theater and the pastor and what all the theatrical things he could do. It was more about that building becoming impactful when you were coming in community with each other. Church wasn't just an event attended. It was a lifestyle that they lived. Acts 2, chapter 2, 44 through 45 said, all the believers were together and had everything in common. That is kingdom mindset. That's kingdom mindset, sharing everything together in common. Meaning if you hurt, I hurt as well. If you're feeling pain, I'm feeling pain as well. We cared for people. You cared about how the other person was doing. You would check in on them, see how they're doing, see if they need anything. Call them. Just have you ever just called anybody from your church and say, hey, are you good? You need help with anything? Can I support you in any type of way? Made them feel heard. Did you listen to them? Anything that they were going through, and just be a listening ear so they can know that they're not alone. Supporting each other in whatever they were doing, right? Living in unity. You know, it's part of that verse talking about going to each other's homes. So it's not just about seeing each other as Sunday at the building, but you would go to each other's homes, being spiritually connected outside of Sunday service. Some people attend church every week, but still don't know community. For real, we made the church about consuming instead about contributing. We're so focused on what the church can do for us and not what we can do for the church. And understand, you need a place where you're being spiritually fed, but the reason you're spiritually fed is not so you can hog the food and not share with anybody else. The spiritual food you get is given to you so you can be an impact to others. Right? That's the contribution. So it's not about just what we can get from a church, but it's about how we can help be impactful within the church. Right? A building mindset thinks of this. What can the church do for me? Spectator mentality, only there to watch and not do anything. Sunday only faith, meaning everything you do is only Sunday, and then the next week you're a different person. Performance culture, meaning you know all the right stuff, all the church lingo, all the church dances, all the rituals that will be done in the church. You know how to do all that. But when it comes to showing the fruit of the Spirit, you are null and void. You don't know how to treat people right. You don't know how to care for people. You can speak in tongues, but you can't sit on the phone and listen to somebody share how they feel being vulnerable. Come on. Acts, verse 47 said, and the Lord added to their numbers. But hold on, before we go to that, let's talk about kingdom mindset. Right? Because I gave you the building mindset. I want to give you kingdom mindset as well. Kingdom mindset first, how can I serve? You go into the building, asking, how can I serve, and not thinking what you can do for me. Daily discipleship, meaning you're connected to somebody that's helping you grow spiritually as a Christian. Real community, you know people's name in the church that you attend, you have their number, you know where they live, you actually have a relationship with them. And living for Christ outside the building. That's kingdom mindset. Kingdom mindset is not worried about a building where we need to make it members only. Kingdom mindset is worried about spreading that building all the way around wherever God has you, building kingdom territory in whatever sector of the world God puts you in. You go into a building on Sunday and you take everything in that building on Sunday and you use it as much as you can throughout the week to be impactful to anybody that God puts in front of you. That's the goal. That's kingdom mindset. Go out and make disciples. Man, 47, verse 47 said, and the Lord added to their numbers daily. People were attracted to how they lived, not just what they posted. Right? People literally could eat off the fruit of the Spirit that others carried within them. It wasn't about just what they did on social media. It wasn't about just what they did when they saw the pastor on Sunday. But they literally had people that they were in relationship with that can continuously help them grow as a Christian. Fruit. Their fruit were good. And because they had good fruit, they were able to impact others. and help them live out the life that God intended them to live when he created them. Right? The church grew because people saw a real community, not just a weekly event. And I think we need to go back to that. I think one of the most important parts of the church that nobody even thinks about anymore is the part of community. Right? We're so focused on the pastor's teaching and the good worship music that they sing in the church. You sit in that pew and you have a nice, good old show in front of you. But are you cultivating a community within that building? That building means nothing if a community is not being cultivated within it, because the church is not about brick and mortar. The church is about the people within it. If you're going to church, let it be because you're trying to build community or you're seeking community. Yes, you have to have a pastor that is biblically sound in his teaching. 100%. You got to have a shepherd that's leading you in the right direction. 100%. And praise and worship is amazing. God built that for us. It's the only thing we can give back to him. It's praise and worship. So I'm not speaking against that at all. But when we take out community and we only go to church for those two factors, this is why we stop going. This is why we're so easily influenced that it's not real or it's fake or something's wrong with it. Because we're missing the most important part of building a relationship with God is loving people. You can't love God if you don't love people, and you can't love people if you don't love God. So to build a solid relationship with God, you have to have community within it. And we got to continuously just work in seeking that and not let the enemy continue to deceive us out of it, because his goal is to isolate us. God said in the beginning, it's not good for man to be alone. What you think the devil wants to do for you? He know if he gets you isolated, he can take you out easily. One Christian is easier to take out than the multitude of them. Because in isolation, all you have is yourself and your thoughts. And the devil will run wild with it. He will deceive you in every single way that he can. If you don't have somebody that you can pick up the phone and talk to about the thoughts that are running through your mind, about the concerns that are going through your heart, it's free reign for the devil. This is why God created community. This is why God created relationship. So go find a community to get into. And I don't care where it is, to be honest. I said it's not about brick and mortar. It's about the body of the people within it. Right? The first thing you need to check when you're going to a church is not how good the pastor made you feel, how good the praise and worship made you feel. Is this a place where I can grow spiritually? Small groups. After you hear the pastor teach and you go through the praise and worship, you should be checking in and seeing what their small groups looking like. What is hidden for real? Is it legit small groups? Is it groups that you really can grow in? And continue to seek that when you're going in that building, right? Make sure when you're going to church, you don't know anybody at the church that you're going to. Learn the people within the church. You should have at least 2 or 3 people that know you outside of the church, that are talking and congregating with you Monday through Saturday and not just on Sunday. You should be in tune with those people. Like I said, because it's important in growing your relationship with God. All right, so seek the body, not the building. All right. So I'll be back after this brief message, and then we'll get into our reaction videos.
Break chain, Yahweh, the only way that I send my praise. Tried to send me 12 feet, but he dug out my grave. When it come to lost sheep, boy, my God, he don't play. And it's already written, he just
just setting the stage. Swear it's all fun and games till he pull out that cage. Better get up in your Bible, yo. You think the devil got power, but he really don't. All he do is entertain you and trick you with lies. Put that gun up in your hands in the hope that you die. What's a lie to the truth, though? If he ain't talking about my Christ, then he gotta go. Yeah, tell him get to stepping like Martin and Gina. Sipping on that living water better than Aquafina. I'm like Debo on the block when it come to these demons. Swear the devil thought he hot, so he turned down his heater. I ain't gonna call him up, just an unstable creature. Trying to get up in my face, treat him like he Felicia. Thought the world was his domain, we aspired his visa. Swear we get the devil hell when we reppin' the kingdom. Hit him up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you haven't did the freestyle yet, go out, check it out, drop your submission. Let me hear what you got. Let me hear what you got. Share it with a friend. You know a friend that rap. Share it with them. Want to see what they doing. Want to see what they working with. But let's get to these reaction vids. Let's get to the reaction vids, people. Let me set my screen up. There we go. All right, so we're gonna look at church behavior and see if it's hidden or not. You already know how we go. Applaud if I'm with it, bomb if I'm not. You let me know in the comments. Applaud or bomb if you feeling it or you're not. Let's check out this first one. We going to YouTube first. We'll go with this one right here. Let's see what it's talking about.
This church pastor dressed himself up as a homeless man to see how his own community would treat him, and what happened next moved him to tears. At first, the response was exactly what he feared, but everything changed the moment he walked inside that church and revealed himself to his congregation.
So how did our church do in the video? I'm gonna tell you now. I was crying inside that beard. Just watch and see.
Something to eat this morning. Usually coffee to keep you warm. God bless you.
You're welcome to come inside. We'd love to have you.
You can come in if you want.
Would you like to come in and have church with us and sit with us for church? But I got some water for you and something more valuable. It's the Word of God here.
This church pastor dressed him.
Wow, I don't know how y'all feeling about that, but for me and mine over here, that was it. That was it, man. That was amazing. That's a crazy experiment, and it's very risky, right? But man, the reaction to it, right, was phenomenal. I mean, the fact that he dressed himself up as a homeless person to see how his church was reacting, every single one of them greeted him with generosity, with care, with concern, with love, right? Just tending to him in every way that they could. If you're a pastor, that's what you would hope for within your congregation, because it is proof that you're on the right track. You're doing what God intended you to do. So that was beautiful. Matter of fact, it's so beautiful. I got to give it another applause. That was just, man, outstanding. That was amazing. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's go right here. Let's see what's going on here.
Why are you taking the video
Okay. So look into the church. Took some money out of the collection plate of the basket of the church. So y'all might think that I would, anybody would think that you would bomb that, right? But the fact that they were able to get that on footage within the church, and it sounded like it had to be like a Catholic church or something close to that, just from the music that was playing. I'm gonna give it an applause, because the church isn't perfect, people. The church is not perfect. So when you see videos like this, we would see this. They don't even training their kids right to be in the Lord's way. The church isn't perfect. The church is flawed people coming together to a perfect God, right? That's all it is. So things like that can happen. Now, I hope that they, after seeing that, they discipline the child in the correct way. But it's pretty funny if you ask me. Like, yeah, I mean, shows we're who we are, human beings. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, let's go this one right here. Let's see what this one's talking about.
This is not speaking in tongues. Check this out.
Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
All right, let me know what y'all think. Applause or bomb? But for me, that ain't it. But that's a prime example of church culture, right? That's like, that video is a perfect example of what most people think the church, the main point of church is about. Speaking in tongues, praise dancing, running around in the pews, all up and down the rows. Like most people think that that's what church is about. It's not. That's theatrics. That is fine. And the Lord didn't make us to be theatrical when it comes to coming together in community. So the first one I thought was a flaw. That's just a prime example of what it ain't. All right, what else we got? Let's see this. This is Pastor Philip. Let's see.
What Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell does here is insane. Watch this.
You're a single mom. You don't have to do this. I want every man, and if you feel like a woman, empty your pockets and bring all the cash you have and lay it right here on this altar. Give me all the cash you have. This ain't prosperity. This is called Acts 2:42-47. They shared all things in common. Bring all your cash and lay it right here. Just empty your pockets. And somebody get a basket or go get me a bag from the lobby. Give me a bag from the lobby for that. Give me a bag from the lobby. Just lay everything right here. Just lay it here. Yeah. Just whatever cash you have, just lay it right here. Gonna sow into this single mom. Wow. This is called Acts 2:42-47. And they shared all things in common. Took care of orphans and widows.
What Pastor...
Woo, we got some good ones today. But let me know what y'all think. Applaud the bomb. But for me, bravo to Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. Pastor Pam, great job. Man, that was beautiful. That is exactly what we talked about. That is Acts 2:40. As he was saying in the video, this is Acts 2:42, sharing all things together in common. The fact that he was able to get everybody in the congregation to come and support them. Like, this is what most people complain about the church is how, oh, we don't know where the tithes is going. Y'all taking our money and we don't know woo, and it could be going to the pastor's jet for all we know. That man literally said, put the money right here. You know who it's for. You know who it's going to. Now, can you be generous? Because I even think with that statement is a facade. It's just to block generosity in your heart. So you don't have a generous heart. So you try to use excuses not to be generous, when the whole principle of generosity is not giving to the people that you think deserve it. It's giving to whoever God put in front of you and whoever he tells you to give to. But that right there was amazing. That was amazing. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see what this one's talking about.
This church pastor dressed him.
You saw that one already.
Well, nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm trying to tell you something is wrong. I told the men in my church, I want you to stop shopping at Baby Gap. Those pants are too small. You look like a little boy. I need you to get something that tells me you want a woman. Now, all this, y'all are mad. I'm gonna preach. You ain't got to invite me back. I got my own church. Well, this is a male purse. No, that is a woman's pocketbook. And I want to know why you have a pocketbook. Because my mother had one, but my daddy never carried a pocketbook. Men of God, talk back to me. What man wants to carry a pocketbook?
Woo. Okay, let me know what y'all think. Bomb or clap? For me, over here. I feel like you say things like that and you alienate the people that actually may be struggling with homosexuality within your church. They never leaves room for transformation. Because it may be somebody that feels judged being in that church where it could have been something said with a person in a personal discipleship setting, right? But when you say a message like that to the entire congregation, it's not leaving room for transformation. It just leaves room for conformity. Right? So now, because everybody's afraid if I do struggle with this, then I can't say anything because he just criticized me in front of the entire congregation. Right? Not to say that I disagree with what he's saying, but I think, like I said, some things are meant for intimate settings, one-on-one conversations versus the message that you give to the entire congregation. And we have to be wise with that, right? We have to let the Holy Spirit convict us in the message that he wants us to give to everybody, or a message that's meant for somebody versus a message that's meant for somebody. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I think that's all we got. Now we're going to hit this one too. Hold on. We're going to go here. We'll go right here, right there. We're going to go to the corner of TikTok and TikTok Avenue. It's the same thing. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. All right, let's say.
This is not speaking in tongues. Check this out.
Boy, my YouTube is messing up today. Let's try that again. There we go. Now, I don't know if that was like a spoof on church or did that actually happen at a church. But either way, I'm going to go. I don't know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. But for me, that ain't it. That's the theatricals we talking about. All right. Like, what is all that for teaching the Bible? That, like, is nothing but hey, come see me stunt. So, I can't get jiggy with that. No. That is not it. Oh, yeah, we have one more. Let's check this out right quick. I did want to go into this one. Let's see this one right quick.
This church pastor dressed himself up as a homeless.
Sorry about YouTube not acting correctly. I guess double click is the charm. Okay. Okay. I don't know how y'all feel. Let me know what you think in the comments. But for me, I don't even understand the purpose of that video, but that just looks creepy, and I don't get why would you create a mannequin of Jesus that looks like that. I think that's kind of overkill if you're trying to get to the point that he suffered. We know that he suffered. That just looks creepy. So I'm going to say no to that. But all right, we're going to leave YouTube Boulevard and we're going to head up TikTok Avenue. All right, so let me switch screens and we can get to it. If you're just joining in, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me start sharing here. All right, let's see what TikTok is talking about. Let's talk about it. Can we just please talk about it? All right, let's get to it. TikTok University. Let's start at the top.
I'm going to just keep it straight. Churches abuse people. Yeah, I said it. Churches abuse people too. It blows my mind that so many ministries, pastors, Christians out there totally ignore the fact that you can hurt people, traumatize people, And that church hurt is real. The church is full of imperfect human beings, but that doesn't give you a right to abuse somebody. And then once you abuse them and they start talking about they've been hurt by the church, been traumatized by the church, you totally ignore it. If somebody admitted to you that they've been hurt by the church and you dismissed it, you need to go back to that person and apologize. Think about it this way. If somebody's been sexually assaulted or verbally abused their entire life, and then they open up to you and you say, well, just get over it. How does that sound? How does that look? Just because you're a Christian, that doesn't mean that you're inexcusable of hurting somebody or creating trauma in their life. And see, I'm old school. I believe in rebuke. I believe in holding somebody accountable, but I don't believe in abusing people. So if somebody talks to you about their church hurt, don't be a jerk. Listen to them, pray for them if you don't have anything good to say. All right, I'm done. Follow me for more church talk. I'm going to just...
All right. So something was a red alarm in that video. So let me know what y'all think. Applause bomb. But for me, and I don't disagree that there's such thing as church hurt, and I don't think that there's no such thing like the church is the only. You can get abused in any space that you go into. So why are we oblivious to think that the church can't be that space as well? But the thing that took me off track with him, he said, "I'm all for rebuking and holding people accountable, but just because you go to church doesn't give you the right to abuse me." So it sounds like he's saying rebuking and holding people accountable is abusive to people. And done in the wrong way, I still don't see how that's abusive. Yeah, even done in the wrong way. It may be judgmental, but abusive is a stretch. Right? It's taking it a little too far. I do see that it can, like, somebody can feel hurt or feel judged by what somebody says. And I think that's the wrong way of rebuking and holding people accountable. One, you can't hold anybody accountable that doesn't want to hold themselves accountable. And rebuking is not just meant for holding people accountable, but it's meant for when somebody speaks wrongly of the word or they do something incorrect within the teachings of Jesus. That's where rebuking comes in. Right. And it's not just for that person, but it's for the entire body. Right. It keeps us honest. It keeps us true. So I don't know if I can get jiggy with him saying church hurt is abusive when you rebuke and hold people accountable. Now, maybe I took that out of context, but kind of sound like that's what he was saying. All right, let's see what this brother's talking about right here.
Can I tell you, I don't mean no harm. I'm so sick of this church hurt stuff. When the last time you heard somebody talk about interstate hurt? It's more hurt that takes place on the interstate highway than in the church. And you never hear people talk about, I'm interstate hurt. I ain't never getting on another interstate as long as I live. Is the interstate the problem? No. It's people who drive on the interstate. Who told you everybody know how to drive in the church? Y'all got unrealistic expectations. You got expectations that everybody who come to church, everybody you be in the church gonna be walking, God bless you, my sister. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. We are people, flesh and blood, and everybody got something. And yeah, there's game, there's sketchy people, and there's people who also love the Lord, trying to get better. And if you got it so down packed, if you know how to do it, if you ain't gonna be one of the hypocrites that's up here in the church, please come in here, show us how to do it. You got unrealistic expectations. Can I tell you, I don't mean no harm. I'm so sick of this church hurt stuff. When the last time you heard somebody talk about?
My bad, people. Oh, hold on. I didn't lost.
Who? One word.
That is not a part of today's episode. My bad, people. My MacBook was about to die. So my charger was plugged up, but it wasn't plugged up. So I'm trying to fix right now. But let me know what you all think in the comments. Applause or bomb. For me, I'm going to go, and this is the majority of his message for me was, okay. Now the one thing that I do disagree with is the interstate comparison, because you're talking about two different types of hurts. Interstate is like a physical damage. Church hurt is more of an emotional damage. So you can't compare interstate hurt to church hurt because it's two different damages. But I do agree that church hurt should not stop you from going to a church, right? Because, like he said, if you're hurt anywhere else, it doesn't stop you from going. If somebody hurts your feelings at work, I guarantee you still going to get that check, right? So why is it that in church is the only space where we feel like, oh, I got to get away from them 100%? Nah. Keep thriving, keep striving, keep looking for the correct community. It may be you need to leave that church. Doesn't mean you have to separate yourself from church forever. All right, let's go to the next video. Let's scroll down here. Let's see what the lady's talking about. Let's see what she's talking about right here.
And I wish I would consecutively every Sunday take my ass into somebody else's church and pay another grown-ass motherfucker to teach me how to be righteous and how to get close to God. And then passing around the motherfucking offering plate talking about what the church need. I tell that motherfucking reverend bitch, have the same faith you telling my ass to have, ho. And I wish I would.
Whoa. Hold there. Hold up. Wait a minute. Whoa there. All right. So what y'all think? Applause or bomb? But for me, I just don't understand, like, why so much profanity within the video? Oh, you get the need for it, but I don't want to be judgmental, right? That's a church culture, right? That's the building versus the body, and what we're saying, she's completely focused on the building and not focused on the body and the benefits of the body, right? But it's crazy because we will avoid relationships within the church because we feel like that is toxic, but we'll accept every other toxic relationship outside of the church. I'm willing to guarantee that she has some people that she's in relationship with that are toxic to her, but she still deal with them, whether it be family ties or just longevity of friendships that she's had. But we're meant to be around people and deal with people. They're the greatest asset we have on this earth. They give us the greatest pleasure and the worst pain, but we continuously deal with them. So why not deal with them with God? That's the body. It's dealing with the body. We're not perfect. We're flawed. But we continue to come together in our imperfections. I say it again. We come together in our imperfections to a perfect God and let him straighten us out. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what else we got. Let's see this one right here.
Who church this? Who auntie this is? Who church this? Who auntie this?
All right, let me know what y'all think. Applause or bomb. Everybody, who auntie this is? But I'm gonna go. Honestly, the performance itself didn't seem like it was practiced very well. But and this is what I'm going. I'm bombing it because of this. A lot of people will go to church and want things like that as the number one priority of why they go to church, when that is not the number one priority. Remember, first, biblically sound pastor, a community that you can share all things together in common with, and the last but most important, a space that you can praise and worship God together. Not theatrical dances, not performances, not the pastor making you. This is like I'm gonna keep putting this point out there. Not the pastor making you feel good. Maybe you should start thinking about attending a church where the pastor don't make you feel good, and he actually convicted you of some things that you're doing wrong. How about that? But let's see what else we got. Oh, I'm going down the line here. Let's see this one right here.
coming, Cap D 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 coming. Lift that, give it that beat, that loose, stuff the world do. My brothers know you ain't nothing but so good. Big Daddy in the house, girl is better. Watch him out. P-E-R-C and yours truly, Cap D.
Never home, always in the street home. And just go with the butt cheeks showing like a fly, but the hammer nails done up in. And that cool still the ones that like to run up in. Like big ones cute faces. Never run a thing on the first day basis.
Oh my God. All right, let me know what y'all think. Applause about. Now, I gotta stay consistent. I want to give him applause because he's getting the dance move, but I'm gonna give it a vibe because it's still theatrical, right? It's still some theatrics within that. So yeah. I don't know if that was doing church service or maybe that was doing a church gathering parts per se, but yeah, he was killing the moves. So I ain't gonna hold you. Like he getting down. Like his moves was better than the lady before. But as far as if this should be the reason why we go to church, nah, it's not the reason. Not the reason at all. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's go right here. All right, I'm telling y'all from the highlight of this, it look like it's gonna be a bomb, but maybe I'm wrong.
Hallelujah. This week your steps shall be elevated, even if it's by high heels. As these heels lift me higher, so shall your destiny rise. No flat shoe blessing this week. Hallelujah. This week your steps shall be elevated.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't even know how they got into the rotation. But yeah, I know that. Come on now. That's obvious. You can let me know if it's applause bomb for you, but for me, nah. That is just wild. Well, yeah, that's all I can say about that. It's just wild. That ain't it. If you go into church and you see that, you should find another church. Okay. But yeah, let's go into the next video. Let's see what this sister talking about.
Staying quiet another second. You use those so-called spiritual counselors to get me alone, Pastor. You planned them every single one so no one would suspect a thing. You closed the door. You made sure no one else was around. You knew exactly what you were doing, and I'm done covering for you. Stop it. I am not staying quiet another second. You use those so-called spiritual.
Whoa. All right. Let me know what y'all think. Applause or bomb for me. Who said? Now that outfit she got on is a very tempting outfit. So past that outfit though, if she's calling out something that a pastor did, exposing them, I say bravo. Now I don't think that's the way you should do it, but if you dealing with church hurt as she is, it's gonna come out in a way that doesn't look pretty, right? But I prefer us to do that than to just leave the church. If something has happened to you within the church that is outside of the character of God, expose it. Don't just tuck tail and leave and hide and never deal with churches again, but expose what you went through. Now, I think it could be a better way of handling it. Maybe not just going in front of the congregation and yelling and spatting out what she did. Maybe finding somebody else within that church to be able to talk to about what happened. And if everybody in the church is brainwashed, for lack of words, then find another church, right? Or this is why we got social media. This is what we have platforms for. Put it out there to the world. But it's better for us to expose false teaching, false prophecy, bad fruit, than to let those affect us to where we leave from community and isolate ourselves. Right? So bravo to her. Could have probably been handled a better way, but at least she handled it in some type of a way. All right, what else we got? We're getting to the final countdown, people. So let's see what we got up here. Let's see what this brother's talking about.
Stop calling it church hurt when it's abuse. Stop calling it church hurt when it is literal trauma. My name is Dr. Elijah Frazier, and I have my PhD in Christian counseling and philosophy. And in no other setting have you heard the term work hurt or school hurt or relationship hurt. No, we hold people accountable when they do things that are unhealthy. If I am in my job and my boss, my employer, or my coworkers or colleagues are treating me rude, disrespectful, gaslighting, narcissistic, causing me trauma or anxiety, I'm allowed to hold them accountable and report them, or I can leave without being judged. If I am at school and my professor or my teachers or my fellow classmates are rude and abusive verbally, mentally, or emotionally, I have the ability to hold them accountable, report them, or find a different school without judgment. If I am in a relationship, a friendship, or a business partnership, and I'm being gaslit, manipulated, abused, taken advantage of, I am allowed to report these people or leave the relationship altogether without being abused, without being ridiculed, without being judged. But the standards shift when I'm in church. When I'm in church, it's church hurt. Oh, you're not there for them anyway. When I am supposed to be in the community of people and not forsake it. But what am I supposed to do when the community is itself is hurting me for the goal and the reason that I'm there? The reason I'm choosing to further my education and go into psychiatric mental health nurse practicing is because there is a deficit, there is a gap, and there are questions that are allowed to be asked, and there are questions that need and deserve answers. I don't have a goal to make someone believe something or stop believing something else. I have a goal to get people to the healthiest place for them. And it is about time that we merge the worlds of what people believe in, merge the worlds of faith, mental health, and medicine. This is the way we've always done it. Can't work anymore. Not questioning people, not questioning things. That's not healthy. We are allowed to hold people, places, things, and organizations accountable because it's the healthiest thing to do. Stop calling it church hurt when
Okay, let me know what y'all think. Applause or bomb? For me, I love everything he said. Like, he's right. If you can hold any other organization accountable, why can't we hold the church accountable? And the Bible says it, right? Jesus says, if a brother sins against you, you go to that brother and you talk about how they sinned against you. If he doesn't listen to you or she doesn't listen to you, then you bring 2 or 3 witnesses with you to see if you can get through to them. If you still can't get through to them, then you bring it in front of the entire church, like the late sister did before this video. And if you still can't get through to them, then you excommunicate them from the church until they have repented for whatever sin that they have done against you. So, having said that, that sounds like a lot of accountability, if you ask me. So yeah, I don't think it's something that was absent of the Acts 2:42 church fellowship, right? And I think somebody's going to eventually call the church Acts 2:42, and that's going to be a beautiful name for a church. I swear, that's going to be an amazing name for a church. But yeah, sharing all things together in common means holding each other accountable. Now, I don't know, like, you have to stop calling it church hurt, because I thought the definition of church hurt was saying that you have some trauma that happened to you within the church. I don't think we're using the word church hurt to as a pass for people to get hurt or be abused and just let it slide. I was saying, if you've been through something like this in the past, know that you can find healing in the same place that you find hurt. Ooh. Man, that might be a little controversial, but I really do believe that if you were a part of a church that was abusive, that hurt you, that you can find another church that can counteract or every single thing that other church did. When you find true community, because that's what we're seeking. This is why we have to have our right hermeneutical lens when we're looking for this, right? Now, the hermeneutical lens really in the Bible to look at how you look at the Bible. I think we need to have that lens for how we relate. Oh, no, not hermeneutical lens. Let me change it. Relational lens in looking at it, right? We have to make sure that we're looking for the right things. We're picking relationships and picking the churches that we're going to be in community with. Not theatrics, but how are the fruit of the people within that church, starting with the pastor, then with the community, the congregation, right? See if it's fitting to helping you continue to mature as a Christian. All right. I think we're on our final video, and we're going to go to our closing statement. I think we saw this, Nari. I'm going to click on it.
Who quiet is here?
Who quiet is I gotta hear that again. I'm sorry. I gotta hear it again. Come on. Oh my God. Who quiet? Hey, let me know what y'all think. Applause and Bob for me. And oh, come on. Let me get to this applause button. Oh, that was phenomenal. Now, you know, I said the church is not about theatrics. The church is not only about praise and worship, but when you see the way that they came together to hit them notes in that song and the cultural differences within that group, because it was a lot of white people and some black people in there as well. And that was a soulful, what was the word? Ballad. When you see them come together like that, you know they together in common. You know that they ain't just going to that stage and singing together and don't talk to each other throughout the week. That's like they are actually in relationship with each other. Like they are actually conversating with, like, to hit them notes the way they hit those notes. It takes for you to have an intimate relationship with each other, right? And with God. Woo, that's praise and worship right there. That is all things together in common right there at its finest. Because, I think I didn't say this before, but I'm gonna add it on to my closing statement because I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get about it. After hearing that, I think we should end the night with that. But to my closing statement, if the choir ain't hitting like that, you might be in the wrong church. If they don't look like they love each other on that stage when they singing praise and worship to God, you might be in the wrong church. Because that right there was phenomenal. Let's go to our closing statement, though. Let's go to our closing statement. Yeah. People should experience Christ through us, not just sermons. The pastor gives us a sermon. We take that sermon. We should be looking at whatever Bible verse he's looking at for that sermon and doing our own study on it as well. But taking what he's saying from it and our study from it and going and impacting every single person that God puts in front of us, right? The church was never supposed to stop on Sunday. The church was never supposed to start and stop on Sunday. The building that you go to on Sunday is for praise and worship. It is for listening to the teachings of our pastor, but it's also to impact every single person that God puts in front of us for the entire week. You should be growing mature. You should be growing in your maturity as a Christian. And in that growing of your maturity as a Christian, God should be able to work through you to go and reach somebody else and bring them into the community as well. Not the building, but bring them into the body. The church is a movement. The church is a movement. We got to stay in motion. If the building disappeared tomorrow, would your faith disappear too? Would your community? Would your impact disappear too? So my challenge for you this week, my people, is not just attend the church, but be the church. And I got 5 more minutes. So before I leave, I'm going to go back to that video. I'm going to put it full screen because that was cold. So to end it, because this right here, to me, is church at its finest. We gonna just get right to it. We get right back to it. I'm gonna end it with this, y'all.
Who quiet is he?
Come on. Come on. Look at him hit it. Look at him. And they all young too. I'm done, people. I'm done. But this right here. Hey, I might have to go listen to this song after we over with it. Come on. My God. All right, people, I'm done. I just had to play it one more time, but I love you all. I hope you have a blessed Memorial Day weekend. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. If this message has touched you in any type of way, has reached you in any type of way, please share it with somebody else and be that blessing that I have been to you. Because I'm only a blessing because God has been that to me. So as I said before, don't just attend the church. Be the church. Until next time, people, love you. Have a blessed night.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Can we just please talk about it? Let's talk about it.